Flaxseed versus flax oil. Which one is better? What do you need to know? Well, I'm going to explain it. Hey, I'm Dr. Ekberg with Wellness for Life, and if you'd like to truly master health by understanding how the body really works, make sure that you subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss anything. Hey, so today we're going to talk about flaxseed versus flax oil. I'm just going to give you a little bit of trivia because I think this is a fascinating little seed. Back in the day, it's from Latin, it's called linum or linum, and it is the same plant that they make linen from. So this was one of the first crops that humans ever cultivated, and for the most part, we didn't eat a whole lot of it. We used the fiber to make clothing and fabric, and we used the oil to make paint binder and varnish and things like that, because the oil had great properties, and it could even sort of coagulate, it could harden, so it could make things like linoleum floors. So if you notice, all these words start with L-I-N, and that's because they're all in some way derived from the linen, and which of course is the same thing as flax. So the word line, lining, linoleum, lingerie, and the guy in Swedish, linen is called linne, and the guy who organized our system of biology, the system of taxonomy, his name happened to be Carl von Linné. So a little bit of trivia, I couldn't help myself there. But so how do we compare the seed versus the oil? Well, obviously the oil is made from the seed, so the seed is the source material. And the seed is quite the little piece of action here. It has 42% fat, has 18% protein, and 27% fiber. So while it does have some carbohydrate here in the fiber, almost all of it is in the form of fiber. It has like 1 gram of net carbs per half a cup, give or take. So if you're looking for foods that are low glycemic index, well, know that the flaxseed, even though it has carbs, they're all fiber, the flaxseed has a glycemic load of 0. All right, so when they talk about high, medium, low glycemic foods, well, this one doesn't even register on that chart. What I like about the flaxseed is that it's very inexpensive. I checked it out today. Where I go shopping, you can buy organic. There's a farmer's market. You can buy organic flaxseed for less than $2 a pound. And I found online, there's a brand with Amazon, you can get organic, shipped with Prime for under $3 a pound for organic flaxseed. So it's like they're giving it away. It's very inexpensive. So what this means is it's less than $1 for 1,000 calories worth. So in a day when they're talking about how expensive healthy food is, well, here's something that you don't have to sweat. What we want to keep in mind about the flaxseed, though, is it is extremely reactive to oxygen. The fat in flax is mostly, the majority of this, and this is unique in the plant kingdom, the majority of this fat is omega-3 fatty acids. That means they're highly nutritious to us, but they're also highly reactive to oxygen. It's kind of two sides of the sword. The very reason that they're nutritious makes them also very sensitive to oxygen. They're very easily destroyed. They go rancid, and now they're actually bad for us. They are what I would call violently reactive, because back in the day when they used this for paint, they used rags to apply the oil to various wood and whatever they were working on. And then sometimes they take these rags and just throw them in a pile. And this oil is so reactive, it starts reacting with oxygen, and that reaction creates heat so much that these rags could spontaneously combust. They would catch on fire by themselves. So what that means for us is that this oil may be nutritious, but it's extremely reactive, and therefore it gets destroyed by heat and light and oxygen very quickly. Because of that, while it's in the seed, the seed protects it from oxygen. So it's a very, very hard shell that is 100% airtight to keep protecting this fat from the oxygen. So if you eat the whole seed, it's so well protected that you can't get inside it either. So there's no nutritional value to eating whole flaxseed. They have to be opened up. You can't digest them. So you have to grind or crush them, and now you can get access to it. But of course, as soon as you grind it, now it starts reacting with oxygen. So what I do, and there's a video right here you can check out, is I buy the whole seed, I grind it, and then I immediately put it in Ziploc bags and put them in the freezer. Okay? I don't think the fridge is good enough. I want to keep it, I want to do the best I can to protect the fatty acids in there. And then you want to keep it dark and cold. So if we compare with the oil, it's not a whole food, it's a refined food. It's 100% fat. It's still reasonably priced. It's $15 a pint. Some people think that's expensive, but again, you don't use a whole lot of it. So it's like $3.90 per 1,000 calories. But here's the difference. I would eat the seed because it's a whole food. I put it on yogurt, I put it in smoothies, and it just thickens and enriches things, nice flavor, virtually for free. And it's different though with oil, because most people who take the oil, they think of it as an omega-3 supplement. They take it because they've heard that we need essential fatty acids, and they think that this is a great source. And in a manner of speaking, it is. It has a very high ratio of omega-3s. But here's the problem. This is, even though this is classified as an essential fatty acid, it is not the end product that the body is looking for. The body is trying to convert this into EPA and DHA, which we know come from fish oils. But this poorly converted means that you only convert a couple of percent, 1 to 2 to a few percent of this into that. And the people who convert the worst are the sickest, who need it the most. So you're kind of in a catch-22 here. And so if you're looking for omega-3s from a supplement, this does not replace the fish oil. This is still a nutritious oil, but I wouldn't rely on it. And if you're not going to rely on it, then personally I would just go ahead and eat the seeds rather, because it's a whole food and it's super cheap and it gives you a lot of fiber and other benefits as well. Buy a reputable brand, keep it sealed in the packaging, and get it into the freezer as soon as you get home. This oil is so polyunsaturated that it actually stays liquid in the freezer. It gets thicker, but it's still liquid. And the other thing I would say about the seeds is I would not buy them ground. Even though there are some companies that say that, well, because of our special milling and grinding process, it's shelf stable for so and so many months. I wouldn't trust that. I would just, because even if it's mostly true, I just wouldn't want to take that chance. I would keep my food as fresh as possible. So you buy it with the seed intact and you grind it and you freeze it yourself. Now you know where that seed has been and you know how it was processed on the way. And now you know that it was only out in the open for a few minutes before you could put it in the freezer. So it's a fascinating little plant, and it's been around for thousands of years, like I said. And in the old Egypt, they actually wrapped the mummies in linen fiber, and they found this linen fiber intact after thousands of years. So it's quite the little piece of work here. Some people have a little bit of a fear of the flax because they say it contains phytoestrogens, that these can act as estrogens. They can mimic hormones. And I haven't seen any conclusive evidence on that. There's research that says it increases cancer risk, and there's research that says it counteracts cancer risk. So personally, I wouldn't look too much into the research. I would eat the seed in moderation as a food. When I say it costs so much per 1,000 calories, it doesn't mean you should eat 1,000 calories a day. It doesn't mean it should be your major food group. It should be a variety of foods. Just like everything else, the more variety, the better off you are. And this, I think, is a good food that can be a component of a healthy overall diet. If you enjoy this content, make sure you subscribe. And if you have questions, if you have good experiences, let me know what you've done with flax, if you have other ideas for recipes and such, and to what extent your experience agrees or disagrees with what I've been talking about here. Please share this video because this information is all about saving lives, about getting the world back on track toward whole food and real lasting health. Thank you for watching.